Welcome to Holly's Quiet Harbor. Take a deep breath and let your mind begin to rest. Long ago, beside the quiet shores of a wide and peaceful lake, there lived a widow and her son. Their cottage was small and simple, with a thatched roof and a narrow path leading down to the water. They did not have much, but they had enough, and more importantly, they had one another. The son was known by everyone simply as the Fisherman. He rose early each morning, walked to the lake, and cast his nets into the still water. The lake was generous to him, and most days he returned home with just enough fish to provide a warm meal for himself and his mother. And so their days passed gently, in a quiet rhythm. Morning light on the water, the soft work of hands, and evenings spent together by the fire. One evening, as the sun lowered and the sky turned gold, the fisherman stood at the water's edge with his nets. He waited patiently, listening to the soft lapping of the lake against the shore. After a little while, he drew in his nets and found 2 fine fish, glistening in the fading light. Smiling, he placed them in his bucket and turned toward home. But just then, a voice called out to him. "My good young man," said an old traveler, leaning gently on a wooden staff, "would you share a little of what you have? I have had a long journey and nothing to eat." The fisherman paused only for a moment. "My mother is waiting for me," he said kindly, "but you must not go hungry. Please, take these fish to our cottage, the one with the curling smoke from its chimney. My mother will welcome you, and I will return to the lake to gather more." The old traveler accepted the gift with a grateful nod. And as the fisherman turned back toward the water, something curious happened. The old man seemed to shimmer in the evening light and quietly vanished. The fisherman stood still for a moment, unsure of what he had seen. But the lake remained calm, and the sky deepened into twilight. So he returned to his work. This time, when he drew in his nets, he found something unusual. Not an ordinary fish, but a small one unlike any he had ever seen. Its scales shimmered like gold. Its fins glowed with soft colors, and its eyes sparkled like tiny stars. As he looked at it, the fish spoke. "Kind fisherman," it said gently, "you showed generosity when you had little to give. In return, I offer you this." And with that, it revealed a simple golden ring. "Keep this ring," said the fish, "but use it wisely. It will provide you what you need. But always remember kindness, and it will serve you well." The fisherman, amazed but grateful, accepted the ring and gently returned the little fish to the water, where it vanished in a flash of light beneath the surface. When he reached home, he found something even more surprising. The table was already set. A warm meal awaited them, and his mother smiling softly, welcomed him in. "I'm not sure how it happened," she said, "but everything seemed to come together on its own." They shared their meal in quiet wonder and went to bed with peaceful hearts. The next morning, curious about the ring, the fisherman slipped it onto his finger. And in that moment, he felt a gentle warmth, like sunlight resting in his hand. Soon enough, he discovered that the ring provided what they needed: food, comfort, and small blessings that made their lives easier. But the fisherman did not grow greedy. Instead, he used what he was given with care, always remembering the kindness that had brought it to him. After some time, he felt a longing to see more of the world beyond the lake. With his mother's blessing, he set out on a journey. He walked through quiet fields, along winding roads, and into a great city filled with towers, markets, and people from many lands. There, he offered his help wherever it was needed, and through small acts of kindness and quiet generosity, he became known not for his wealth, but for goodness. In time, he came to the attention of the king. The king had a daughter, wise, thoughtful, and kind, and the fisherman's gentle nature did not go unnoticed. But rather than grand gestures or trials of strength, the princess valued something different. She enjoyed questions, riddles, quiet conversations that revealed the heart of a person. So the fisherman was invited to speak with her. They sat together in a quiet garden beneath the shade of trees, where soft music drifted in the air. She asked him simple questions, not to test him, but to understand him. Questions about life, about kindness, about what truly mattered. And each time, the fisherman answered honestly, not perfectly, but sincerely. Days passed, then weeks, and slowly, something grew between them. Not built on riches or magic, but on understanding. At last, the king saw what his daughter already knew, that this fisherman, with his quiet heart and steady spirit, was worthy, not because of what he possessed, but because of who he was. And so, a celebration was held, not grand or overwhelming, but warm and joyful. The fisherman's mother was brought to the palace, where she was welcomed with kindness. Music played softly, lights glowed gently, and laughter filled the halls. The fisherman and the princess were married, and in time they lived a life not of excess, but of balance. They shared what they had, they ruled with care, and they never forgot the simple truth that had guided them from the beginning, that kindness, given freely, returns in quiet and unexpected ways. And now, as the story settles, you can imagine that quiet lake once more. The gentle ripple of water, the soft glow of evening light, a small cottage, a warm fire, a simple life made full by kindness. And as the world grows still around you, you can let everything else drift away, like a boat moving slowly across calm water, until there's nothing left to do but rest. Sleep now, peacefully and gently, as the night carries you onward.